Hi guys, welcome back to GOO ROO Beauty. I'm Jodie and the long-awaited video is here comparing the Australis All Over Face and Body Tint with the MAC Face and Body Foundation. Now, Australis released this all over face and body tint onto the Australian market fairly recently, in the last month or two, and immediately comparisons were drawn between these two. Obviously, looking at the packaging, immediately you can see why. They both come in this flexible plastic packaging, have a very similar lid and a squirty spout to dispense the product. One is called the All Over Face and Body Tint and one is called the Face and Body Foundation. And I suspect that it's no mistake at all on behalf of Australis that you would draw comparisons between the two. So I have seen videos that claim that the Australis is a dupe for the MAC, and I thought that I would let you know what my thoughts are. I'm going to switch over now to the videos showing application of both, and you'll see quite an entertaining and hopefully informative clip with my first impressions, the very first time that I used the face and body tint. So without any further ado, we'll switch over to that. If you want to see how these two face and body products compare, keep on watching. A quick foundation first impressions for you today. This is a new product from Australis, made in Australia, called their All Over Face and Body Tint. It says that the formula provides skin with a sheer, lightweight tint to enhance skin tone. A blend of natural emollients including jojoba, pomegranate, rosehip and avocado oils help to moisturize, condition and evenly distribute pigments. The sheer, natural looking coverage is easy to blend and ideal for your complexion all over. First ingredient is water, followed by CAPRYLIC or CAPRIC triglyceride, propylene glycol, glyceryl stearate, stearic acid, dimethicone. It is developed and made in Australia and not tested on animals. One of the things that Australis really doesn't do well with is colour options. This is available in 3 shades, light, medium and dark. I have chosen the medium shade here. I'll show you how that compares with my MAC Face and Body. It does retail for $19.95. You can get it wherever you find Australis, whether that's Kmart, Priceline. It's no longer available in Target, but probably also online. So I will just show you the formulation. It doesn't compare. So you can see when I put it on, it's very thick. It's definitely a creamy sort of product, like a tinted moisturizer, not runny at all. And then you can hear the MAC product, even just shaking it. It's very, very watery, and it just goes on very, very differently. So you'll see when I put a little bit of MAC Face and Body on my hand, it immediately runs. So this is how the medium shade of Australis compares with the MAC C4, and this is the MAC C3. So you can see a lot yellower, but that might give you an idea of what the medium shade looks like. They are very, very different in formulation, you'll see, and they definitely do go on very, very differently on your face. When you shake the Australis, there's really not much liquid actually moving around, so the viscosity is very different between the two. Now, I'm not expecting a whole lot of coverage from this. The packaging certainly does say that it's a lightweight coverage, and it does contain a blend of different oils too, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is a bit dewy, if it has a bit of a gloss. We'll see. It applies with a lot of slip. It applies like it's very lightweight, like a tinted moisturizer. It doesn't sort of seem very thick, very creamy. It seems very easy to sort of spread and blend, so it would be great probably for a fast makeup routine in the morning. Okay, so this is the coverage with one layer. Obviously you can see my freckling, my hyperpigmentation still showing. The medium is a pretty decent colour match. I will apply a second layer and just see how this builds up. As I'm patting the sponge around, I can actually hear it sort of sticking a little bit more. So it's almost as if the product is starting to set as it dries out. And this is not layering very nicely at all. A close-up in the mirror sort of shows some areas of cakiness. So I can see around my nose where it's a little bit thicker, and on top of my nose it looks like it's just sitting on top of my skin, and I can see bits of unevenness of the product, like it's caking in an uneven type way when you try to layer it with a damp beauty blender sponge at least. So I'm not sure if you can see all around my nose, but see that sort of uneven caking? That's what's happening when I apply 2 layers of this product. It's not layering very nicely at all with a damp beauty blender. So what I am going to do is spray my beauty blender with Fix Plus. That might be helpful in sort of blending out the ingredients of this product to a more even finish. It might thin it down a little bit, but at least it's not going to be, you know, cakey and have uneven patches. And I don't know if that has helped at all. I can still definitely see cakey areas all over where it's sort of set, and then there's areas where I guess when I've gone over with a second layer, the makeup that's sort of already on my face has come off onto the sponge that I'm using to apply. So not a great experience this morning with layering this product. So the next thing I'm doing is using warm hands to try and sort of almost melt this product back. Warm hands can help to work it into the pores a little bit more, work it into the surface of your skin so it doesn't look like it's just sitting on top. So we'll see if that works. Maybe heat will work better for these combination of oils. Okay, and now as I'm deciding whether I can bear to wear this makeup for the day or not, if I run my finger on my face, the product is balling up. If you can see the bits on my hand, the product is balling up and actually coming off my face. So this is definitely setting on the face, and then it's that sort of balling up part of the formulation, you can see on my finger there, that is making it look sort of cakey in some areas. So not a layering product. I'm going to have to get this, look at this, all of that on my hand. Can you see all of this on my face? Can you see all the bits despite my freckles? I'm going to have to get all of this off. This is awful. I think this is the worst first impression of a foundation I've ever had. A complete fail. I don't think I've ever had to actually remove a foundation on first application. I've always been able to find a way to make it work, but I was not expecting this product called a Face and Body Tint to set in such a weird cakey way that it would ball up. Oh God. Okay, I'm going to try and do things a little bit differently here. I was using the Dermalogica Skin Perfect Primer because it's SPF 30. The Australis Face and Body does not have SPF in it, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. I want to give this a try with the Australis Primer to give this sucker the best chance of actually working on my face. So I need to think about SPF and how I'm going to introduce that outside of my primer or foundation. And this is the Dermalogica Oil Free Matte. So SPF 30 here, and I'm just going to apply that all over my face before I put on the Australis Primer, which is also not SPF. For a face and body tint, it does sound like it would be a very sort of summery product. It's a shame that it doesn't have any SPF in it. For those who just want a quick, you know, apply and go, you will definitely need to keep in mind that you have to introduce your SPF some other way before that tint goes on. Okay, so a few minutes later, I'm back with the Australis Primer. This prevents foundation fading, smooths and refines skin texture, and locks in moisture apparently. This is very sort of lightweight, very much like a gel type product, and I have found previously that this has worked fairly well as an affordable primer, no SPF mind you, that does assist in some oil control for my oily combination skin. Since the damp beauty blender was so disastrous, I'm going to try with my fingers. I'm going to just apply one single layer of this product. You saw what happened once it started to set and I started to rub, it started balling up and coming off my face. So as quickly as possible, because it does set, I am going to rub it on my neck. But on my face, I'm just going to press it in. Okay, so all pressed in, this is one layer, I daren't add another. So first of all, my first bit of feedback is this is for girls who do not need a buildable foundation. You can see that it has evened out my skin somewhat, but this is a light coverage on my skin. You can definitely see freckling and hyperpigmentation come through. For me on the weekends, that's fine. I don't mind what comes through. I am going to put the rest of my makeup on, and then I will come back and probably see how the Australis Fresh and Flawless powder goes on top. That will provide a little bit of extra coverage, so we'll see how we can work some other Australis products with this one and see how we go. So I have applied my makeup now. I am just going to set the T-zone using the Australis Fresh and Flawless, and they have 3 colors to choose from with this one. This one is the Deep Natural. Just a really light covering of Fresh and Flawless powder. We'll see how this face and body tint stands up throughout the day. I'll be back to let you know. So it's about 10 hours since I applied the Australis all over face and body tint, and I'm not sold on this product. As far as an everyday product that you can apply very quickly, that's going to give you some kind of coverage, well, that's really a tinted moisturizer. And most of the tinted moisturizers that I would prefer would include SPF and would probably include a little bit more cover and a little bit more sort of smoothing for me. So unfortunately, the Australis doesn't sort of fit the bill for me as a moisturizer. It doesn't fit the bill for me for coverage, and it doesn't fit the bill for me for SPF. If it had something going for it on any one of those three factors, I think I would be a little more prone to give this a thumbs up. At the moment, I think 10 hours on, you can definitely see I've got some shine coming through. It was a sweaty hot day, and that's okay. I think that as far as paying $20 for this and then having to use an SPF, use a moisturizer and powder over for a little bit more coverage, I think that there are products that do something similar to this and do a little bit more. If you are someone with normal to dry skin, if you are someone who wants just that tiny amount of coverage with a, you know, fairly natural finish, and you don't mind that it doesn't have SPF, then this may be a decent product for you. I must say that I do prefer the buildability of the MAC Face and Body. I will just repeat again that I don't think that those two products are at all comparable. Very, very different coverage, buildability, and I don't know if this has the benefit of being waterproof. Nowhere on the packaging does it say that it is waterproof. Okay, so it's now time to give the MAC Face and Body Foundation a run for its money. The MAC product will separate as it sits, so it is really important to give that a good shake. I am going to dispense about that much on my hand, and you can see how runny it is. It is definitely more runny than the Australis product, and I'm just going to pat that in. At first it feels like a moisturizer, it feels sort of very light on my skin, and then I can feel it thickening up as it is exposed to the warmth or the texture of my skin. And I'm just going over areas. This is one of the things I really like about the MAC product, is how buildable it is. Perhaps people who think that they are really good dupes, if they've tried both products, maybe they don't really layer products all that much, so you know, it's possible that they're comparing just sort of one layer of each product with each other. But the formulations are very different, and that comes out when you do start mixing these products with a different product underneath, say a different primer, as well as layering it upon itself. So I am applying a second layer here just with my fingers again. It really is quite easy to get a really nice, easy streak free look with this. It's not too hard to sort of, you know, blend it in and make it look finished in a hurry. And that's the two layers here of the MAC Face and Body Foundation. Now, just like the Australis, there is some evening out of my skin tone, but I can still see, you know, freckles and blemishes, any sort of marks on my skin coming through. What is beautiful about the MAC as opposed to the Australis is that, in my opinion, the coverage really is adjustable. It really is buildable. So after two layers there, you can just keep adding if you want more coverage and keep that really nice natural finish on your face, but still increase the coverage if you do have things that you want to cover. With the Australis, I feel like you've just got that one sheer cover and it's not buildable. It will start balling up on itself. So now I've applied a third layer there of the MAC just to show how buildable it is. It still looks really nice and natural. The finish definitely still just looks like skin. So I have been able to get a little bit of extra coverage there. I feel like you could just add layer upon layer of the MAC Face and Body without sacrificing the really nice natural sort of skin finish. It doesn't really cake up, and the finish just stays very natural like skin. So I think that those clips probably showed you a couple little differences there between the MAC Face and Body Foundation and the Australis All Over Face and Body Tint. Obviously, we do have very similar packaging. We do have a difference in pricing with $20 for the Australis All Over Face and Body Tint, and I'll put the price here on the screen of the MAC Face and Body. So quite a difference in pricing. Even so, as you've seen, I think that the Australis All Over Face and Body Tint misses the mark. If I'm going to spend $20 on a product that is not a typical moisturizer, is not going to give me any significant coverage, does not build to give me any extra coverage in a way that's nice, does not reliably mix well with other products that I like to use underneath, including sunscreens, given that it itself does not contain a sunscreen, I'm not going to waste my time. And what I think that MAC offers over the Australis Face and Body, as you've seen in this video, it mixes very well with any product I put it over, whether it's silicone based, water based, whether it has SPF or not. It builds beautifully. So this product never cakes up, it never balls up. It goes beautifully whether I'm applying it with my fingers, with a sponge, with a brush, anything. It does not cake up. That's what's so beautiful about this product. It photographs very, very nicely. It's waterproof, it's sweat proof. It's really nice for the summer. I do wish that it contained SPF. That is the only thing that I feel like the MAC Face and Body is missing. But again, with everything else that it does offer, I don't mind adding it over an SPF primer or moisturizer. I feel like for $20, this one just misses the mark. I'd rather spend the money on a tinted moisturizer that does have SPF in it. I'm going to provide a list of ingredients down in the description bar so that you yourself can see how they compare. It's definitely not the same product. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know that many of you do think that these are dupes, so I would love to hear from you. Let me know what you found, your reasoning, what products you find that the Australis works the best with. And lastly, I'm not planning on keeping this, so if you are interested in an almost full bottle of the Australis All Over Face and Body Tint in the shade medium, it is a used product, so be aware of that. But if you would like to be in the draw to receive this product, since I'm not going to use it, do let me know down below in the comments and I will draw this one at random in a week. Let me know what your thoughts are. I would love to hear from you if you have tried both products, whether you think they are dupes or not. I love to hear from you. So thank you in advance for your comments. Thank you for watching if you're still with me. Have a beautiful day and we'll see you again really soon. Bye.